Hello. Welcome to the channel. I'm Nate, and this is Peach Domino Papercraft. And today, we are still working in the Petals and Parchment kit for Junetober. Today is the 6th. Yes, today is the 6th. And we've already put in some pockets, some tags, some journal cards. I didn't get enough journal. I didn't put in all the journal cards. Well, let's get those put in. We made a bunch of journal cards, but I just didn't get them put in. Put this one in this pocket. I am so sorry, y'all. So today is going to be our tutorial day. I told you I was going to make at least one tutorial for every kit. Today is no different. Let's see if I can get that to go in there. Today we're going to make. I've got 3 things I want to make with you. And if I can get to all of them, great. If I can't, then they'll be in the next one, hopefully. So, I'm trying to stall while I get all this put in. It's not working out so great. I'm not very good at stalling. Anyway, we have our kit. Throwing paper clips. So there's 3 things I want to make with you, and I have made prototypes or templates or whatever you want to call them. And the first one is this. Yes, it is neon orange because this is just the template prototype thingy. But it's a pocket or folio. I like to call it a folio. It was called a trifold wallet pocket. I'll link it in the description. But I like it more as a folio, saying it's more of a folio. That's just me. And this is easily made out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And I cannot make it out of the pattern papers because you need it to be 8.5 by 10 3/4. And none of my pattern papers, after I cut the edges off, they don't go to 10 3/4 anymore. They're not that wide. So I'm going to make it out of this, and ideally you would want to make it out of something dual-sided, but we'll decorate so that it's easier to differentiate. Sorry, I keep hitting that camera. I don't know why. Maybe I won't make it out of this. This might not be. Yep, that's not wide enough. Okay, different piece of paper it is then. Let's see if this one. That's pink. That is pink. There's a purple one. Let's see if this one's 8.5 by 10 3/4. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna cut this down to 10 3/4 and 8.5. I know I said I'd do all the decorating tomorrow, but that's okay. So you're gonna pull out your scoreboard, and if you don't have a scoreboard, you can use a ruler. A ruler and a pencil. I am going to use my scoreboard, and we're going to score. Oops. You put your long side across the top, and we're going to score. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera because bright orange. At 3.5 and 7 1/4. 3.5 and 7 and a quarter. Okay? And then you turn it around sideways, either way, doesn't matter. And you're going to score it 4 and a quarter. Okay? That's it. That's all you need on that. You put this away. And before we do any folding, we're going to pick up our scissors. And I'm going to do this so that you can see. Let's use Villainous Potion here. Yep, Villainous Potion. I'm gonna okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take this, and we're gonna go ahead and fold it in half, like so. And we're gonna do that so that we can ink right down the middle. And you see, I'm not, feathering it up or anything. I'm literally just dragging my blender across. And it gets it plenty inked up. Especially for what we're about to do. Okay, we're going to open it up. And we're going to cut along this line until you get to this first score line. Okay? Just try to get kind of in the middle there till you get to that first score line. And we may have to trim it a bit once we get it folded. And then you're going to take your paper after you get that cut, and you're just going to turn it around. And you're going to do the same again on the other side. Just cut it right up to that first score line. Oops, I got off the line quickly there. Try it again. It's okay. We can work with anything, can't we? Plop that off of there. Okay. Now, you're going to fold. Let me look. Yeah. You're going to fold these back this way, away from the place you just did, right? Score them down. Burnish them down. Preferably with a bone folder, not your finger, because it hurts when you do it with your finger. I'm here to tell you. Okay? Did that? Yep, that's right. Okay. Then we're going to take this one and we're going to fold it. Do not go all the way to the crease. Leave it a little bit back from the crease. Line it up pretty even if you can. And just score or burnish that down. And then you're going to do the same over here. Fold it, not all the way to the crease. Burnish it down. Okay. Now check and make sure that it closes really good that way, and that it closes all the way this way. And this way, you're going to want to take this one, goes over this way, and then this one goes over this way. Okay? You'll see why in a minute. Okay, so far we close pretty good. I don't like this right here, so I'm going to go ahead and chop that off, because I didn't get it cut real nice, but that's alright. Okay, so now if you want to take out some bulk, which I would recommend, just kind of cut these to where they're about, I don't know, half an inch. They don't have to be very big. You do want to leave a flap there. Give it a little strength and stability, no matter what you make it out of. But that'll cut some bulk out. And then you're just going to take your glue, run it along this flap. Okay. Burnish that down. Real nice. Put some more on the other side. Burnish it down. Okay, and then you're going to take and you're going to go right across the bottom of this one, and you're going to glue it down. Okay, don't glue this part, you don't need to. And then this one you're going to see roughly where to go there, and you're going to glue here across the bottom, and then almost all the way up to your finger on the sides there, because you don't want it to get on the main part, just on this part. Does that make sense? Because ideally we want the whole inside to be open. Okay? And I said we were going to decorate. We didn't do it. We still can though. It'll be alright. Now on this here, we're going to take and we're going to fold it up. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. We're just going to make a tiny little pocket there. Okay. Now before, and over here, I'm sorry, I didn't mean before, I meant over here, we're going to do an even smaller fold, and that's just to kind of give this side a little stability, a little durability. Let's see, is everything lined up? It is. Okay. Now before we glue anything down, we're going to decorate a little bit. I'm just going to take one of my missing pieces that, no, really, where did they go? There they are. I'm just going to take one of these, and I'm going to use this flower pattern because I think it matches pretty well. And because it doesn't have to go all the way across, that's even better. Now, remember, it's only 4 1/4 tall. And you don't want to go a full 4 1/4 because then it'll hit the line right here. It just won't be as nice, I don't think. So we're going to go to 4. Okay. Now, don't forget, this will still have to be folded. And we're still going to have to cut some off because we are. Okay, I'm just going to eyeball where to cut that off. That's a good start. Now we're going to take my pencil here, and I'm going to mark here where this fold is, here where this fold is, and here where this fold is. They are very hard to see because it's a busy paper. That is what I asked for. Okay, I'm going to take my tool instead of my pencil. Actually, I'm going to use my pencil. I'm going to put my lead down, back up just a little bit off the mark, and run my pencil over it. Same here. Line it up just behind the mark, and run my pencil over it. And here, Here I'm going to cut it off. Right here, just like that, all the way to the other side. Okay. That goes in there. That goes there. So we're going to take these where I scored them, and we're going to fold. Okay, and on the other side, because it's a busy paper, you're going to have to feel for it. And you might have to look for it on the other side. I don't see it on the other side. Where is it? There it is. Get in the general area and just kind of fold at it. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to glue this centerpiece first. As soon as I figure out where I put my glue. I'm going to go here. And here. And here. I'm going to make this pocket. But I'm not going to tell anybody it's a pocket. It's going to be our secret. Fold these up. Line that up within both folds. And then press it down. Alright? And that's going to get your center put in place. With a little bit of room for your pocket. See? You got that extra room right there for your pocket. Okay, now I'm going to take these, do that again, just to be sure. We're going to do these one at a time. And I'm going to go just like this. I'm not going to worry about that bottom part right there. Well, I'm going to do about like that. Pull this over. And squash it down all the way across. Okay. And take my ruler and I'm going to push it into that crease and wiggle it back and forth to get that crease as tight as I can get it. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this and just run up this side and up this side and put it here. I'm not going to put a thumb notch in it. It'll be alright. Just going to trim this up. Excuse me. Burnish it down. Burnish it. It didn't want to stick. Burnish it. And then I'm just going to trim this a little bit. Get that bit off of there, and I'm going to have to glue it again because it's still not wanting to stick. Why is it not wanting to stick? Did I not get enough glue? It's art glitter glue. I thought it would stick. Try it again. Maybe I have to let it set a little longer. I haven't had this problem before, but that's alright. Now we are good to go on this side. Alright. We're going to turn this up. Glue here. Here. And here. Just waffle a little in the middle. Pull that side down. Burnish it out real good. Make sure you get your ruler in there. Okay. And then put some glue along here because this is going to be glued down. Okay. And then we've got that going on. So one more thing I want to do right here is I just want to take a little Velcro dot. Not put away. My dog's been in the room again. Sorry, you guys. I gotta get new Velcro dots out. I don't put anything that's been touched by the dog's fur in my journals that I put up for sale. I don't mind using them for myself, which is why I keep them in that drawer. But I don't want to send my doggy hair to anybody who doesn't want my doggy hair. And I figure most people don't want my doggy hair. So, we're going to put the fuzzy end on this side. Okay. And then we're going to go and just squash that down. I know that doesn't negate dog allergy, people with dog allergies, but it does keep the actual dog hair out of their place. And there we go. Now, I'm just gonna do a quick once over with our ink. On the outside here. Ooh, tearing up my sponge doing it this way. Okay. And there we go. We'll decorate that tomorrow. Now, that's template number 1. We can put it away. I do keep all these templates. Template number 2 is a paperclip pocket. Ends up being like this. You can't really see that because it's neon orange. Okay, but you're going to need a 10-inch by 2-inch, 10-inch by 2-inch strip. And one side will be seen and one side won't. So, try to make it something that you're okay with directionally. This would not be a good one directionally, but this one will. So, we're going to open this up, cut it to 10 inches. I'm going to make a couple of these because they're here and I can. Cut it, nope, won't make it to 4, so we'll get a 2-inch strip out of this one. And set that aside. And then, not long enough. None of my other strips are long enough, so clean this up just a tiny fraction here. Grab out another piece of paper. That one's kind of directional. That one's not. Okay, so I'm going to get a 2-inch strip here. And then cut that down to 10 inches. Okay. And then, let's see. This is good non-directional. And we'll just make the 3 of them. They're really fast and easy. Great little additions to whatever you're going to be making, honestly. I am again going to grab my scoreboard. It's going to make a lot of use today. Okay, we're going to put these on the 10-inch side. Either way, doesn't matter. This is going to be our outside, so I am going to turn it this way. It's up to you. You don't have to. The valley should be towards the inside. So we're going to score 2 1/4 and 7. Okay. Turn it over. Again, 2 1/4 and 7. Now realize the reason I'm making 3 projects today, 2 1/4 and 7, is because they are really quick and easy, and they're superb, quick mass make fillers that you can make out of neutrals or colors or anything and add them to your journal at any point. And we're just going to fold all those. We're going to keep the 2 1/4 at the top and the 3" at the bottom. Fold all those over. Some of you may have seen this before. Now we're going to grab our bone folder, make sure they're lined up, burnish it. Bone folder, line it up. I seem to not be cutting straight again. Oops, it'll be alright. Okay, line it up, burnish it, line it up, burnish it, line it up. Line this one up. Oh, I misaligned that one. There we go. That's better. Burnish it. Now, here's another thing we're going to do. I'm going to get my circle punch. And in the 3" side, I'm just going to cut a little thumb notch. You don't have to do this. You could also trace out a button or anything like that. Skip it all together. Make a little diagonal slanty. I don't know. Something. Whatever you want. And I can't glue that down yet. We're going to take our hole punch. Just our regular stationary hole punch. And this is going to be a little tight. But it'll work, I promise. Now, turn it upside down so you can see. And he measured in the middle. I'm eyeballing it. You see how it's not, I don't have it all the way across there? I hope you can see that. So where it just does a little half moon, but then you open it and it's more of a circle. That's what you want to do with the top, with the 2 1/4" portion of your paper. Just a little half moon out of the middle. Okay, and then you're going to get some paper clips. These paper clips are falling off my desk because I cannot hold on to them. 1, 2, 3. Okay, these ones are a little over 1" long. So they're little, but that's okay. And you're going to take the flat part and put it like this. You're going to put the pointy part at the back and you're going to wiggle it in somehow so that the fat part goes inside. I had to open them up and squash them in a little bit. And then when you push it down, don't push it all the way down. See, leave some out because you can hang a dangle on that. Okay, and you're going to just do that, put those all in for however many you're making. It is much easier if you open them up. And I say the pointy bit. You see how this works? One side sits up taller than the other. This one doesn't do that like the others. I guess it does. Anyway, you'll know. because it sits either ahead of or behind the fat part. You want it set behind the fat part, and then you get that part in, and it'll just slide right in place. Okay, and then you're going to get your glue, and you're going to glue completely down over here. Press it down real good. Make sure it stays. And then since we're on the subject, we'll go ahead and take this one, and we're just going to go here and here. Fold that up a little bit and press it down. I should have inked those because you cannot see the pocket very well. That's alright. Now you're going to want to take your ruler or something and just poke it in the pocket and kind of twist it a little bit to give it some oomph space. And you won't be able to fit anything real big in there, but you know, it's a neat little pocket. And it's a paper clip, which is always a plus. I mean, it's not exactly hidden, but you could count it as a hidden paper clip. I would. It's mostly hidden. That counts, right? Okay, there's two. Don't forget to poke it in. See how quick and simple those are? Dead to rights. Wrong place to use that, isn't it? I don't know. I know the saying, and I kind of know what it means, but I just use it where I want to. And then this side. And that's why it doesn't matter. You can use single-sided papers on this. Use them up. Get them out of the way. That kind of thing. As long as the paper has one side that is nice enough and mostly omnidirectional, you can use it. As long as it doesn't have to be omnidirectional, it could be unidirectional. Wouldn't look as good, right? Now, that's two done. Now for our third one, this is a little more labor intensive. It's a triple pocket belly band. I'll get the phrase right here in a minute. Okay, so for this one, we're going to take our cutter. And for our pockets, you can use anything you want to. We're going to use 4 1/4 inch squares. That's not 4 1/4. Looks like none of those scraps are. This one, nope. Okay, none of those scraps will work. You can make them all the same. You can make them all different. That's kind of up to you. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one. Remember, you will see the other side of this one. So, just remember that. 4 1/4 inches. By 4 1/4 inches. And you need at least 2 of those. If you want to make one in a different pattern, then grab it now. Here. Then go ahead and make a third square. But you only need 2 squares to do this because each one will give you 2. Each square will give you 2 pockets. And then you need to know how big your page is. My page is. are 8 inches. So we are going to want a strip for the back that is 8 inches. So let's go ahead and get that now. Before we put our cutter away. Now, as far as width, you can do them any width you want. 1.5, 2. That's really up to you. That rhymed, don't ask. I don't know what width this is. It's not quite 2, it's a little more than 1.5. It'll be fine. I'm going to clean out my cutter real quick. Maintenance. That edge is really hard to get stuff out of sometimes. And then you will also need 3 pieces that are 3.5 by 2. And those also, I don't know, you might see them, you might not. Who knows? Okay, so your width needs to be 2. And your length needs to be 3.5. I'm going to make 2 of this one. These are for your tags. And I want 1 out of this one. 2 inches. Get out the way. About 3.5 inches. Okay, yeah, it is definitely time changing my cutter blade, but right now it's just time to turn it around. Remember, you can turn your cutter blades around most of the time and get better quality. So do that before you throw them away and get a new one. Save yourself a little money. Okay, we're going to start with these 4 triangles. Or 3 triangles. I shouldn't have put the cutter away. I knew better. I needed it one more time. Okay, you're going to take your triangles. You're going to line them up in here, corner to corner. You can do them all at once if you'd like. I'm not going to. And just cut them in half. That's why we're getting 2 out of every one, and I only needed 1 of these. Because I got another of the other one. That's okay. Just be very careful about making sure they're lined up. Now when my cutter blade gets to the point where it is now, I start in the middle because it doesn't always cut properly if I don't. Always make sure you clean this part off too. Doesn't take very much. Just wipe it down with your finger and it'll be clean. Okay, so we got our 3 triangles, right? This is going to be our outside. So we're going to turn them this way. And we're going to, excuse me, we're going to measure in 1.5 inches. And make a mark on 2 sides of this corner. I'm going to go ahead and fold this one because that mark's hard to see. So you're going to fold across the bottom, but you're going to stop when your crease hits that mark. You want your crease as close to right on that mark as possible. Line it up, though, across the bottom. Let's see if I can zoom you in so you can see this better. Whoa, hold yourself. Where's my mark? There's my mark. Right here. This is my mark. Okay? So I'm going to take my corner. I'm going to fold it across the bottom. See if I can get you to see that. Fold it across the bottom like that until your crease hits that mark. If it's a little before or a little after, that's okay. And then you just fold it up. And boom. Zooming out. There's your little envelope. Okay? You zoom me back out because I'm going to do this a couple more times. With these other two, I kind of like how that turned out. Kind of a headless bird there. Alright. We're going to do it again. This side, 1.5. Sometimes you may have to mark it very hard. Because if you're doing like this, and you're in a very dark piece of paper, it's going to be a little hard to see. Once you get the hang of it, it's super simple. Until you get the hang of it, it's very tedious. At least to me. Oh, nope. Cross the bottom. There we go. Oh, goodness. See, I chose something with a very dark interior right here. This is going to be a pain to get marked. I broke my pencil lead. It's a good thing you don't need pencil lead for this. Okay. Come on. Back off. There we go, right there. Fold it down. Turn it around. Make sure you know where your mark is. Fold it. Turn it. Okay, and then we're just going to get our burnisher, our bone folder, burnish it down. And then remember how we glued the triangle pockets on the very first project? That's how we're going to glue these triangle pockets. We're going to clean off the tip of our glue because I left it undone for too long. You do whichever side over the top you want. Just across the bottom, fold it over, across the top, bottom, just a fraction up, because you can always come back and put some just like this in that window there. The dog wants in again. The dog always wants in. I don't know. He's a weirdo. Fold it. Okay. There we go. Same with this last one. And here. Now I'm going to have to clean that up because I think I got some glue right there. So I just put my ruler in and use it to wipe off any excess glue that might be in there on those spots. Okay. Now for your tags that go inside, stack them up. Cut off a corner. Grab a corner. Flip it. And cut that other corner off. Okay, see, they fit in very well. So, now, oh, that was the wrong piece, wasn't it? This is going to be our background, and you're not really going to see it. You will, but not nearly as much as you would think. And you're just going to take this corner right here and line it up against the edge. Leave a little bit at the top because your tags are going to stick out some. So if you leave a little bit at the top, you can negate that a little bit. If you leave enough at the top, you can negate it altogether. But you never know. I'm going to go about right there. Just going to go right here, all the way across, up, and all the way around. You can sew them together. You can staple the bottoms together. You can do anything you want. I'm using glue because I have it readily available. And then you're going to want to take number 2 and lap it over. How much? That's up to you. But you also want to leave some at the bottom in case you have to cut some off. You shouldn't, but you never know. Glue, glue, glue. Narc it down. Technical term there. Try to estimate about the same amount overlapping and left open if you can. You can always decorate this up. And I am just gonna put this one in here, this one in here, and this one in here. Should have done it the other way with 2 of these and 1 of these, but that's okay. And there you go. Your belly band has arrived. Let me zoom you out a little more. Somehow you're not zoomed out enough. Okay? And that's it. So, today we have made this belly band, 3 hidden paperclip pockets, and 1 trifold wallet or a folio, whatever you want to call it, to stick on our journal. Now, if you'll come back tomorrow, we'll decorate. Bye.